Hello and welcome to TD's Pokemon Lair. I'm TD and this is the Lair. Today we're unboxing a box of 10 Pokemon cards I sent to PSA. Got them back in this nice box, professionally packaged for safekeeping. Let me get them out of here and we'll see what grades we got. Alright, let's go. Check out this 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket. Here comes Team Rocket, a first edition trainer card, the number 71 card of the set. This is the non-holo version of the card. It looks really good. The graphics are nice. I don't see any damage like creases, bends, or scratches. Our centering from top to bottom, and it looks pretty good. Left to right, it looks pretty good too. I think they're within the tolerances. Looking at our corners and our edges, I think they're really clean. I did not see any damage. As we turn this card over, you can see that our surface still is very clean. There's no scratches, creases, or bends. Looking at our centering from left to right, it's a little bit towards the left. Centering top to bottom, I think it's within the tolerance or spec. And looking at our corners and our edges, I think there's some very slight damage on that upper right corner. And with all that, we'll get a grade of mint 9. I like it very much. Let's look at this 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Sneak Attack, a first edition trainer, the number 72 card. The graphics on this are awesome. There's no problems there. No scratches, creases, or bends. Our centering from top to bottom looks slightly towards the bottom, and left to right might be slightly towards the right. Looking at our corners and our edges, I did not see any damage. Turn the card over and look at the back of the card. Our surface is free of any damages like creases, bends, or scratches. Our centering from top to bottom looks like it might be slightly towards the bottom. Left to right looks a little towards the left, but probably within the tolerance. Looking at our corners and our edges, there's a nice speck of damage on the upper right corner. And we're going to get a grade of mint 9. That's pretty darn good. I like it. Here is a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket The Boss's Way, a first edition trainer card, the number 73 card of the set. Looking at the front of this card, I do not see any problems with the centering from top to bottom or left to right. I think those are all within the tolerances. Our surface shows no damage like creases, bends, or scratches. I think it looks really nice. Looking at our corners and our edges, I did not find any damage. Taking a look to the back of the card, our surface shows no creases, bends, or scratches or any other damage. Our centering from top to bottom, I think, is within the tolerance. Left to right, looks like it's within the tolerance also. Looking at our corners and our edges, the only thing I can see is some slight damage on the upper right corner. This trainer card is going to receive a grade of mint 9. That's pretty darn good for an old card. We're looking at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Challenge, a first edition trainer, the number 74 card. The front of this card, graphics look very bright and clean. There's no scratches, creases, or bends. Looking at our centering from top to bottom, it's quite a bit towards the bottom. Centering left to right is looks pretty close, maybe a little to the right. And looking at our corners and our edges, I did not find any damage. Let's look to the back of the card, and our surface is free of any creases, bends, scratches, or any other damage. Our centering from left to right looks a little to the left. Centering from top to bottom, I think it's slightly towards the top. Looking at our corners and our edges, they're very clean actually, and I don't see much damage. And the grade we'll get is a near mint 8. That's not too shabby. Let me show you this 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Digger, a first edition trainer, the number 75 card. Looking at the front of this card, at first glance looks really good. On the surface, there's no scratches, creases, but there is a slight bend up in the upper left corner on that upper edge. Looking at the rest of the card, the centering from left to right and top to bottom, I think is all within the tolerances. Looking at the corners and the edges, besides that little bend on the upper edge, I do not see any damage. As we flip the card over, you can see the reciprocal damage on that upper right corner where there's a slight scrape or bend there. The rest of the surface of the card is free of any other damage. Looking at our centering from left to right, it looks a little towards the left, and top to bottom centering I think is within the tolerances. Looking at the corners and the edges, they all look really clean except that one little scrape on that upper right corner. And with all that damage, the card's going to get a grade of excellent 5. Wow, that's a lot of a drop for just a small scrape. You're looking at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Imposter Oak's Revenge, a first edition, the number 76 card. Looking at the front of this card, I love the graphics. They're cool. And looking at them, I don't see any scratches, creases, or bends. Looking at our centering from left to right, I think that's within the tolerance. The centering from top to bottom, though, I think it's slightly towards the bottom. Looking for any damage on the corners and the edges, I did not find any damage at all. Turn the card over and look to the back of the card. We'll start with the surface. There's no damage like creases, bends, scratches, or any other thing. Looking at our centering from left to right, it's slightly towards the left, and top to bottom centering, I think, is within the specs. Looking at our corners and our edges, there is some slight damage on the upper right corner. And we'll get a grade of mint 9 for this card. I like it a lot. This card is the 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Nightly Garbage Run, a first edition, the number 77 card. Looking at the front of this card, the graphics are clean and bright. There's no scratches, creases, or bends. Looking at our centering from top to bottom, it's slightly towards the bottom a little bit. And looking at left to right centering, I think that's within the tolerance. Looking at our corners and edges, I did not find any damage. As we always do, we look to the back of the card, and our centering from left to right is a little bit towards the left. Centering from top to bottom is a little bit towards the bottom. Looking at our surface, I did not see any scratches, creases, or bends, or any other damage. Looking at our corners and our edges, there is some slight damage on that upper left corner. And this trainer will get a grade of mint 9. That's really good. I like it. Let's check out this 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Goop Gas Attack, a first edition, the number 78 card, and a trainer card. Looking at the front of this card, the graphics are bright. There's no scratches, creases, or bends, or any other damage to the surface. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right, I think, is all within the tolerances. And looking at our corners and our edges, I did not see any damage at all that would affect a grade. Flip the card over and look to the back of the card. Everything is looking great. Our surface is free of any damage like creases, bends, scratches, or dirt. Our centering from top to bottom and left to right all looks really good. I think that's within the tolerances. And looking at our corners and our edges, I do not see any damage. This is a beautiful card. Wow. Let's see if I get the grade. I think I'm going to Gem Mint 10. That is awesome. That is a beautiful card. Wow. We are looking at a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Rainbow Energy, a first edition, the number 80 card of the set. This is a non-holo version of the card. Looking at our surface, it's very clean. There's no problems on the graphics. They're very bright and nice. Our surface shows no damage like creases, bends, or scratches. Looking at our centering from left to right, I think that's within the tolerances. Looking at our centering from top to bottom, I think that's close to the tolerance. It might be slightly towards the top. Looking at our corners and our edges, I did not find any damage. Let's look at the back of the card and look at the surface. I do not see any scratches, creases, or bends. Our centering from left to right, I think, is within the tolerance. Our centering from top to bottom is slightly towards the top. Looking for any damage on our corners and edges. What I do see is some slight damage on that upper left corner. And we'll get a good grade of mint 9. I like that grade for that energy. I'm showing you a 2000 Pokemon Team Rocket Dark Raichu, a holographic, a first edition, the number 83 card. The holographics on this look really clean. There's no scratches or anything I can find. Looking at our surface, there's no bends or creases or any other problems. Looking at our centering from left to right, I think it's slightly towards the left. Centering from top to bottom, I think it's slightly towards the top. Looking at our corners and our edges, they all look really good. There's no damage, but there is what's called silvering down that right edge. The back of the card looks really good. There's no creases, bends, or scratches on the surface. Looking at our centering from left to right, it's towards the right a little bit, and centering from top to bottom, it might be a little bit towards the top. Looking at our corners and our edges, I think there's some slight damage on the upper left corner, and I think that's it. And we're going to get a grade of near mint 8. That's pretty darn good, but I wish it would have been a little better. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you liked the content and the cards I presented. Please like and subscribe, and always remember, you got to catch them all. Have a great day.